way to
There was
overturn
enough
it.
proof to overturn.
Yeah, so like if they would have called it safe, I don't know if they could have overturned.
I don't think there would have been
Right,
enough proof to overturn that either. I'd have to agree
No.
with you.
Yeah.
But I think it was the right call. Honestly, I do. I think by a frame difference, I think he actually had the ball in his glove before his foot came off.
Mhm.
Like he'd his toes extended to get the ball, and then his foot kind of lifted after it hit, and then he rested it back down, kind of thing.
That's always one of the funnier things in baseball, where it's like, hey, yeah, when does the ball actually enter the glove? With a lot of those like close call situations, you always see it when it's like a runner going to first, or like they just hit a grounder to first and they're trying to beat the throw. It's like, when did it actually hit the glove?
Yeah, it needs to make contact.
Yeah,
But it's usually pretty obvious, like the frame, it makes contact with the glove. You usually see a ripple effect or an impact in the glove.
yeah, I don't know, but like baseball is really good with having those like really close shots where it's like, okay, hey, we're gonna break this down in a very slow motion. It's still gonna be in like at least 780p or 720p, and it's gonna look incredible. But then you have plays like that home plate one where it's like, if we zoom in any further, it's not gonna be much.
Yeah, they're not gonna have much pixels left. Yeah. I mean, they do get it down to some frame calls to where it's like, yeah, all right, that was by, a 30th of a second, but yeah, the runner got beat or whatever,
Frame by frame, as if we're trying to do, as if we're talking about fighting games with baseball. They frame counted everything. They know what they're doing.
It is. You have to frame count it, bro. You have to.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about it from an animation standpoint.
Yeah.
Oh lordy, Lou.
What's wrong, Hunter?
Oh, nothing. I'm just happy football went the way it did.
Hunter,
My team's won. I'm winning in fantasy. I'm having a good time.
Let's go.
Hunter, you've seen 6 championships in your life.
Okay, now to be fair, you're correct. I have no counter. There is no rebut. I just know you're correct.
And like, it's not even like you're from Boston. No, you're from Toledo.
Yeah,
you chose not to be a Browns fan.
Okay, to be fair, my choices growing up were the Bengals, the Browns, and the Lions, which 12 years ago was pretty much decided, do I want to die from drowning? Do I want to die by fire? Or do I want to die by poisoning? Those were the choices. None of them are correct.
The three of the worst teams in the league.
At the time, 3 of the worst teams in the league, and it's like, I'm already enough of a loser. I don't need to follow a loser team too.
Oh man, I don't know. My brother and father are Browns fans. They've mentally checked out on this season, but my brother will still watch every week, hoping that something happens.
If they get another couple wins, it'd be nice. But there's just a point where it's like, nah, I actually want to lose now. So I want that pick, just so I can ruin a quarterback's life by drafting them.
I was gonna say, what? Like, I was talking about this with my dad, and my brother's like, don't draft the QB, just draft defense at this point. You know your offense is gonna suck. At least have a defense that will keep games close. That would be funny.
It would be. Just to say, screw it.
Yeah. Mega's sitting here waiting for me to say, hey, I've been recording now for almost 4 minutes, so we can get started.
I mean, listen, I was letting y'all just sports ball out.
Hey, sports ball.
Like, y'all had that. My sports ball interest started and ended with my 2-week gambling arc.
Are you done with the gambling arc already?
That's
probably for the best.
Okay.
That's probably the best kind of gambling arc, is a 2-week gambling arc.
Exactly.
True.
Did you? I know you won your first week's parlay. Did you lose it all in the second week?
Oh, absolutely.
Who'd you lose?
I lost it to I think the Eagles lost a game to the Giants, and I just was like, all right, yeah, this is cooked, chat. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, NFC East. See.
Never do the NFC East. Always do the NFC.
Oh yeah, we're wild. We're fucking wild over here.
Yeah, they're unreliable.
We are. It's the Wild West. All right.
Just do the NFC West, because one of those teams will lose someone very important every game. It doesn't matter who.
Exactly.
The Niners are going to be on like their 7th string quarterback and still somehow finding ways to win the NFC in the playoffs.
See, I like this implication that I said I ended a gambling arc, and then all of you immediately basically encouraged, like, no, you can gamble, just don't gamble on these teams, gamble over here. So
Yeah,
I would just like to say
on the NFC East.
the For the Love of Prod encourages
No, we don't.
peer pressure.
No, we don't.
Peer pressure for multiple activities.
I mean, I'm reminded, like, I don't know. I got nothing.
Mhm.
I got nothing.
You got nothing? No.
I mean, we're gonna go right into like bullying works. Is about where we're headed next. So let's just let's just call it here.
Man, this slope
Before we get into
short-
really ridiculous territories, just for the comedy of it.
Yeah,
we've
we have
done that a
our
lot.
required sports talk for the week.
The slope sure is slippery around here.
I know,
Oh, my
right?
goodness.
Icy, downright icy.
Okay. How about this? Since we're almost 6.5 minutes into the recording, how about we actually get started with it?
Okay.
Yeah, this is normal. I just normally hit record or start recording once everyone gets their cams in.
I figured.
That's smart.
You know this.
Listen, it's nice to hear you bring it up every time, though. I gotta be honest.
I mean, if you don't hit record, then you're gonna miss the good intro. Then you're gonna be like, "Oh, I should have been recording that last 20 seconds, and it would have been perfect." Like it happens every time. I've been there. It happens every time. So it's
There has been at least 5 episodes where I didn't hit record because we were missing one person's webcam, and we were talking about the most random, funniest shit in the world, where no matter what we talked about throughout the rest of the podcast, it didn't match that, and I felt so bad. And then there's only one. Then there's only one opening where I had to cut it.
Yeah.
And Hunter knows why.
Editing is editing is a beautiful thing. It happens.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
I try to make
Same
sure.
thing applies to interviews too, by the way. Just hit record very early in interviews. Just do it.
Oh, me and Hunter know a lot about that when we were doing the thing for the Copa America.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
Yeah, I still need to post the outtakes video.
He has outtakes for some of them, and there's some where, like, before he's hit record, we were doing like the whole thing, like, yeah, you're not recording, are you? You're missing us. Just
I missed probably the best segment. I probably missed because I didn't record.
Yeah, me having a small mental breakdown for no reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
I mean, typical Overwatch player.
True.
I mean, no, technically Hunter has won something, so he is technically a player as well. You don't have to get it.
Where is
I'm rocking my my Dallas Fuel tea mug tonight.
Nice.
Ooh,
just wanted to
nice.
show that off because it's
awesome.
badass and I
I've-
like
I've-
it.
I-
And
I've
it
got
makes me
the.
smile.
Wow. I've got
Guangzhou
the
Charge.
Yes, sir.
jersey.
Guangzhou Charge jersey. Yes,
You
sir.
don't see those very often. You don't see those
You
very
do
often.
not. You
Is it
don't.
a player jersey or just a team
No,
jersey?
it's just a regular team jersey. It was like the ones they
Oh,
released back. I
fantastic.
think it was like 21 or 22 where they released
Yeah.
a bunch like this.
No, it's a badass jersey, man. It looks
I've
great.
got this one, and then I have a Valiant one somewhere as well, which not the most prestigious franchise to choose for a jersey from at the time, but
that is
it-
okay.
it
It's
has
still an
cool
awesome jersey.
colors. It looks awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have the Packers or
we're-
Chargers Valiant?
If it makes you happy, then that's all that matters.
Whichever one the newer one is.
Okay, light blue Chargers.
Chargers, blue and yellow.
Yeah. I forget they used to be green and
Green and
was
green.
it yellow? Green was it green?
There's green and
Was it-
yellow.
Was it green yellow?
It was
Yeah.
green and yellow. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
It was just like the. Okay. Yeah. No. I guess it was just green and yellow.
every now and then I go on eBay and just look up owl stuff. I've been so close to pulling a trigger on a Phantom hat. It was a Phantom Champions hat for the Fusion from year 1. Like,
Oh, wild.
I see that every time. I'm just like, I want to spend $20 on this. I probably should. It's really
I'd
funny.
buy an old jersey. If there were like just
An old
just
jersey.
classic jerseys around, I'd buy one of those.
Classic jerseys in any sport are really fun, especially one that's defunct.
The only purchase that, like, it wasn't a jersey, and I really wish I had pulled the trigger on it, but I was in contact with the dude who had the original Snillo body pillow.
Oh my god.
I really wish I had pulled the trigger on it. He was only asking for like $60 for it. I was like, gosh, this would be funny, but I just didn't do it.
Do I
It'd be
want?
good to have now.
Do I want to know what this looks like?
The
See,
Snillo
I
body
wish I'd
pillow?
actually gotten one of the Winton plushes.
Oh
That's-
my god, I wish.
That's
No,
one
wait.
of the biggest.
I
one of my
wish.
biggest like Overwatch regrets. I wish I'd pulled the trigger on that. Is the Winton plush.
That's
just-
real.
He's always with me in the corner. He always has been. He always will. He may be digital, but he's real
Alright.
in my heart.
If you come by the stream, all you got to do is follow Bullskunk stream Winton emote
Yeah.
for the people because Winton is a
Winton
hero
emote?
of the people. I'm just
He
saying.
is.
I
I'm
think
just saying.
this is the first time someone's ever actually advertised themselves on this.
As if anybody who's watching your stream doesn't know who I am, but that's
There-
all, or your pod rather.
That's always like we've talked about this a couple times where it's always very interesting to figure out like what's the actual reach of this outside of like
Right.
the people that we know.
Sure.
And like the wildest one so far was like we've had leg day on, and again
That's amazing.
didn't ever expect to get leg day on. Leg day told us that he's listened to the podcast before he was a somewhat regular listener. I was like, how?
Amazing.
How,
Yeah.
how the fuck did you find this?
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah, it's insane. But let's actually get started. Welcome
Yeah.
everyone to episode.
I figured we had started 5 minutes ago. Where
We
have
had-
you been?
I will tell you right now to the moment. 11:43. We started 11 minutes and 43 seconds ago. We opened up talking about sports, then turned into gambling. Okay, this is what I said. Why we normally just kind of spiral. We're spiraling
Yeah.
early. Let's get back on track now, and then proceed to fly right back off the rails.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Okay. Take two. Everyone, welcome back to episode 41 of For the Love of Prod. As always, I'm joined by Megalass and Huntertain, and our guest this week is the one and only Bullskunk. Bullskunk, I'm going to be honest, you might be the person that we have been trying to get on for the longest time. And the only reason
I'm
that
flattered.
I didn't ask you in between last FaceIt between seasons 5 and 6 is because I kind of forgot to ask you. And I felt
I mean, the break between seasons 5 and 6 was like 2 days.
Mhm.
Literally.
And I honestly, I don't feel like I have had a break since January 15th. Like seasons 4, 5, and 6 all just ran right into each other as far as my schedule is concerned. In the past, I mean, since October 18th. October 18th was Expert Grand Finals, and we cast Copa America the very next weekend. And I've had a few VODs to do, but I stayed far more caught up. Anyway, but October 18th, I felt was the first time I've had a break or any time to do anything at all since January. So no, you are fine. I wouldn't have had time anyway until now. It's awesome to be here. I'm glad to finally be here.
Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
And we're glad to have you on. And honestly, I'm kind of happy that I finally got you on because these two almost every week after an episode say, "When are you getting Bullskunk?"
Oh, well, I hope it lives up to the hype. Hope it's worth the wait.
Yeah, I think it should. But like we kind of mentioned, or like we kind of talked about when you asked, like, was there anything you had prepared? Nope. I always just ask our guests 2 questions at the start of this, and then I said kind of spiral after that. We'll probably try to stay on topic here a little bit more tonight. But Bullskunk, I just want to know what got you into esports, and more specifically, what got you into doing esports prod?
Oh, and that is an awesome question. It's actually not that complicated. At least the first one isn't. Overwatch World Cup. Straight up, it was looking up videos on how to get better at playing Tracer. Tracer was one of my first loves in the game. Still one of my highest played heroes. 9.5 years later or whatever. I guess 10 years later. I started it at Overwatch 1 beta, which was super early, right? Like that beta dropped way before the May release date. And like, I mean, it was 2015, if I remember correctly. That public beta was somewhere around now, 2015. So it has been right at a decade. Anyway, looking up Tracer videos, found Soon videos. And I mean, just stumbled across some Soon videos just popping off on Tracer, and then saw Soon in the World Cup, and was like, "Hey!" And it kind of led to that. That's kind of how I figured out, like, learned about World Cup and found World Cup, and just fell in love immediately. And that was it. That was it. And that was pre-Overwatch League. Figured out Dallas was getting a team, like, and was super into it, like, immediately, like, had to figure out who Team Envy was. What is this team all about? Who's these players that's gonna have Dallas on their chest and representing my hometown? I'm born and raised here. You know, I love all things Dallas. You know, my family's born and raised here, kind of thing. So it's like you're putting my city on your chest. I gotta learn about this squad. I was a fan from day one, and went to the 2019 homestand. It was the first ever esports home game, right? I mean, of course, with the franchising and, you know, Overwatch League attempting that, which I think had a lot of merits to it and a lot of really good stuff about it. That kind of pride, honestly, I think was a big part of it. But going to that, and I got really, really damn lucky. So I'm bartending at the time. I've bartended for a number of years. One of my regulars at the place I happened to be working saw my bar key. I had a custom made Dallas Fuel bar key. I had it at hand for the longest, but a custom made Dallas Fuel bar key. One of my regulars saw it. Happened to be the PR guy for the Dallas Fuel. Happened to work for the firm. This is in 2019, right? This is, I mean, we're in the heart of the bubble, right? This is tons of money being poured into this. This is tons of just, I mean, everybody's just got, you know, starry vision of what the future could be and how lined their pockets could be. And so there's a full PR firm behind the Dallas Fuel. And he doesn't know shit about esports. He just knows PR. He knows how to do his job. That doesn't mean he necessarily knows the material. And so when he saw the logo, he's like, wait a minute, that's one of my clients. And we started talking. He was going to the event. Long story short, I ended up at the homestand weekend with a press pass. And just kind of out of nowhere. I mean, he's the guy that was handing out press passes. He's the guy that was like in charge of who got press passes, right? I mean, and so he needed somebody there that knew the sport, that knew the people, that knew the players. And so, yeah, I kind of basically got a press pass from him and came along as his advisor and got to stay in the hotel where all the players were staying. Actually ended up on an elevator with Soon that very weekend. It was right after a Paris Eternal loss. I didn't have the guts or the heart to even open my mouth. I was just like, it was just me, my buddy who I was with, and Soon on an elevator, just like going back up to the rooms, like, it's fucking Soon. What do I say? He just got his ass whooped and he looked so defeated. And he's like one of my heroes and literally the reason I'm there. And I just stood there like, and there was like a little bit of an exchange, you know, just kind of like a hello kind of thing. But that was about it. That was about it. And then before I knew it, that was, you know, he got off on and he was gone. But that weekend was absolute magic. It was one of the best weekends of my life. Met all of the talent at the stuff at the time. Very first night, we're hanging on the back patio of the bar across the street from the venue. It was at the Allen Event Center, kind of in the North Texas area, just north of Dallas. There is a bar across the street. It's where all the talent was. So the hotel was like attached to it and a whole nine. So we're sitting out there with, literally all of the talent that you can think of from 2018, 2019, are all sitting out at a table just hanging out. I didn't have a conversation with Josh Brennan Reinforce, you know, for the longest. It was actually Monty was the one that invited us over. I was just sitting there pointing out people to my friend and just saying, hey, these are important people you need to know. And say what you will about Monte Cristo, but he was really imperative in the development of casters and of production as a whole in esports, and with Team Envy as well. His politics and stuff and his friends really more importantly aside, but whatever. His impact on production still, especially in 2018, couldn't be denied. And so he was the one I was pointing people out, and my PR buddy was like, let's go meet him, and just kind of like dragged me over. And I was like, no, you don't wait. And just, hey, you know, I was like, wait. And so we get to talking, and then Monty's like, yeah, come, we're all outside. Why don't you come hang out? And that was just right out of the gate, day one, night one. The event hadn't even really started yet, right? That was before the event had even started. That was my introduction. And I was like, these are my people. I need to be here. This is where I need to be in life. Like, it was hanging out with the talent. There was something I'd already been casting. I got into casting a little bit different through like casting pugs and just being a trash gold player and didn't get picked, so I cast the games instead because they were like high level EHE pugs back in the day. So I'd done a little bit of casting, But that was like on a laptop, and I didn't have great, or partly from my Xbox as well with like a capture card and stuff. It was that event was the moment where it's like, no, this is where I need to be. We need to get the equipment to do this right. Like, let's do this. So that was really the 2019 homestand and the culmination of all of those things kind of coming together. Was really the big catalyst for what got me here today.
It's I just think it's really insane that it's just the random people you met. Like a regular at your bar turned out to be someone who was a PR person for the Fuel, and then they dragged you into talking with a lot of the talent. Like,
yes,
it's God. It's just
it was wild.
Like that's the easiest way to put it. Like
it was a surreal weekend. I walked out. Okay, Achilles and Wolf, the duo. Wolf gave me his phone number that weekend. Like it was that kind of a. He was like, "Hey man, if you ever need," and I never abused that. I never, kind of, maybe send a text or two here and there, like, "Hey, really appreciate the support and all that." But never abused that. But it was that kind of a thing. It was that kind of a connection where I was like, "Damn,"
I always feel so awkward when like someone says, "Here, do you want my number so we can keep talking?" Or like, let's connect on Discord so we can keep talking. It's so I feel so awkward. Like even though like they said, "Hey, reach out to me at any point," it's like I don't want to be a bother to them.
Correct.
It's so like you don't.
You always want to treat people with respect and and understand the situation and there was context to it and stuff and you certainly want to understand and be respectful of it, but that was my introduction into prod and esports and that side of things. And I was hooked from that event was insane. The energy I've been to a lot of sporting events, and it's like it's got to be like playoff hockey level to find the energy that was in the building that day. Like it was wild.
I was gonna say I don't think I've ever been to a playoff sporting event, but then I remembered, hey, I was there when the Hornets almost beat the Heat that one year.
Playoff basketball is actually up there, man. Playoff basketball is really, really exciting. Genuinely.
It's insane. And especially for like a team like Charlotte in North Carolina where that's a basketball state. Like
sure.
Please just be a good team. Please.
And it could even just be, I don't even know. But yes, that kind of that energy, that competitiveness, that on the edge of your seat. No matter what you're into, like that energy is just, oh man, there's nothing like it. And there's few things that to me come close to that 2019 weekend, like that I've ever seen in my life. And I've been to a lot of sporting events like that. I've got a few gray hairs on here that I'm sure you all have noticed. I've been to a few sporting events in my life. There's very few that come close to that 2019 homestand.
There were conversations I've had with other people in other servers where it's like, where do you want to go for an esports event? Fucking France. Like they have it's Carmine Corp that built their own like small arena, and they've put on some like minor events there, and it's like actual, I would put it on par of like European soccer like level where they have chants, they have flags, they have everything.
Their energy is crazy town.
Yeah,
I would love to go to a Carmine Corp Rocket League event in France just for the energy, man. Just for the energy.
Like it's the.
I've cast some Rocket League. That's the only other game besides Overwatch I've ever cast. For fun fact for the lore out there. I would love to go to a Rocket League match at the Carmine Corp Arena in France. You're not wrong, dude. That's next level. That's next level.
Like I said, it's like European or South American soccer level with like how like they get into it, and it's like that energy you just can't meet or match. And it's like, I've been to other esports events, and it's just like, you would hope it would be more. Like the grand finale for Owl in Toronto, you would hope it'd be a little bit more. Dallas last year, granted, there were really hype moments last year.
I know what you mean. It's like, it's good, but Anaheim. I was in Anaheim, and it was good, but it didn't quite have that Oh, that extra. I mean, I don't know. Anaheim was actually that was the 3-2. I mean, the 4-3 Dallas Fuel San Francisco Shock finals, and I'm a massive Fuel fan, and it was like that one was pretty good. The finals itself was just a really really great match, and but it's still I know what you mean. It still didn't quite have that extra oomph.
You know, talking to someone like in the Fletch, because I believe he was there as well. At that one, huge Fuel fan as well. I would want to get like what his opinion was on it, because I still think to this day like his avatar or his profile photo on most of the things is a photo from him at that event.
At the 2019 homestand?
No, the Anaheim.
The Anaheim Grand Finals.
Yeah.
2022 Grand Finals.
And also, like Fletch over the last year in OWCS, he got photos of himself or basically he was using promotion a lot because he was incredibly hype at Dallas and then he was incredibly hype at Stockholm.
Yeah,
like it was really
fun that way.
It was really funny to see people come up and have him sign papers so they could use his images.
Yeah, I mean that's when everybody else is kind of like clapping and like Fletch is out of his seat and screaming and hands in the air and jumping up and down and running up and down the aisles, and I've witnessed it plenty. I live in Dallas, man. I've been there for all of the Dallas events too. He's been at all of them. I know.
Esports needs more fans like Fred.
Plenty firsthand.
Yeah,
I know, it's amazing. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. You love it. You love to see it.
Okay, but let's get into the second part of the question here. What keeps you coming back? You've already kind of mentioned that you're really in your first like extended break since the beginning of the year. What kind of keeps you coming back to doing esports prod over and over and over and over again?
Wow, there's a multifaceted question. There's a lot of layers to that. Yeah, there's a lot of layers to that. One thing, okay. I think first, an easiest way to kind of bounce from what we were talking about with what got me into it is I kind of found my peeps. I've been hanging out with people like y'all, hanging out with community, like find people like, wait, y'all are into the same shit too? Like you nerd out about a Reinhardt play as much as I do? Wait, no way. Okay, wait, we can, like just finding people like that. I thought I was the only one, right? I'm like in some bar in East Dallas, and no one else gives a shit, or I'm at my job where I was a traveling sales rep for a while was when I first found out about World Cup. And I was trying to get my buddy into it. Like I had driven down to Houston and I was talking to their sales, trying to like showing him the TV, like, dude, no, you gotta check it out. These are people from other country. They're just playing Overwatch. And he's like, wait, what? It's like soccer, but they're playing video games. And I mean, that was my normal experience with talking to other people about esports, was trying to even explain what the hell was going on the screen. And so part of it is just found my peeps, man. Like, I don't know, I feel like I was just born 20 years too late. I'd be out there competing with them too, I mean, shit. But there's more to it than that. Casting is another level of that. So past just being around an awesome gaming community and actually being around like-minded people and finding just a bunch of nerds that I can nerd out with as well. Past that, and there's a certain beauty to Overwatch. I've also always embraced the outcast kind of always welcome at my table kind of thing. And I feel like Overwatch just kind of breeds all and attracts all. And I think it's such a beautiful thing. And it has such a wonderful community in that regard. It goes past just being gamers. And then going into casting. So then into another, this is where I say it's kind of multifaceted. Then going into casting itself. Casting itself is it reminds me more of performing than gaming. It reminds me more of playing a musical instrument. I've played drums since I was 10 years old. I've been in a number of bands, played shows, played on stage and all that. And casting reminds me a lot more of that than it does playing like in a competitive environment, where you're rehearsing and you go through it time and time and time again, and you just hope when you get in the moment that you nail it and it comes out right, and and you perform it well. And there's a certain blending that performance element, which I was a music major initially in college, and then I got my degree in animation and film. So like, just to give you an idea of where even like that was my university's, like that was that arc was even in music and then film and animation. And so combining that performance level, that performance aspect, excuse me, within gaming, and then you have this kind of in the moment, in the fly, on the fly, off the cuff. It's this magical blending of things, and there's nothing else like it. There's just legitimately nothing else like casting video games. And especially one that you're truly into and truly passionate about. Doesn't matter what title it is. And for me, it just happens to be Overwatch. Like, and that's not going anywhere. It just went and got his big old maws on me early, and I'm in love with this game and have been from day one. Like, I mean, was looking forward to the beta. I was like, wait, they basically make TF3? Yes, count me in. Like, I've waited long enough for Team Fortress 3. Like, come on now. Like, let's go. And then Blizzard, who, especially at the time, was like one of the most just heralded game companies on the planet, was like, yeah, we're basically going to make Team Fortress 3 now. And that was the old honest trailer was like, this game is unlike anything you've ever seen before. Unless you play Team Fortress 2, because it's pretty much that. And so, yeah, there you go. So you combine the love of that title, back to my original point, combining the gaming element with the performance element, and there's just nothing like casting. And so even if I wasn't able to do it as often as I could, or as often as I am right now, I think I'd still do it in some capacity somewhere, just for the love of the game, kind of thing. Right now, I'm trying to build a brand and get consistent and build T2 and keep T2 alive. And there's a whole other level that's been applied over the past 15 months in the 430 FaceIt League matches that I've done. Yeah, that's solo podcast, produced, edited, thumbnails, uploaded to YouTube, archived. That is a whole other facet. That's a whole other level. And part of that is, building a brand and trying to provide a value for the community and trying to give back after all this time. And here in the Big 25, after, since that, fateful day in 2019, and, and if I can keep the lights on doing it, then more power, and let's go. And that's a fun challenge too. And I've been happy to provide this value, and I'm glad that it's helpful. I'm glad that it's exciting for the T2 and T3 players to get to play, because they get to be on stream, because they get some notoriety, because their names get called, because they get to hear this applies to all of us. This is certainly not just me. They love it. And it's important. It is genuinely important for the scene. And that's a wonderful feeling too. Yeah, so that is what keeps me coming back is definitely multifaceted. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I like that's on me. I was interrupting you there. No, and we'll probably
I could go forever.
Yeah. No, we've had some it's funny with some of the people we've had on. We've had people who have told me beforehand, like, "Hey, I'm not much of a yapper," and then it's like we have to figure out this point where we can get them to stop. But and then we have people who will. Sometimes we kind of have to stop them just so we can kind of move on. But no, but going back to the first part of your answer there, where it's like the people and just the community. And Grant, that had, when we first started this podcast, I would say probably the first 25 episodes, that was the most common answer. And every time someone has that answer, being like, hey, what keeps you coming back? And it's always something along the lines of, oh, it's the people I work with, or it's the people who play these games, or something like that. It always makes me feel so good, because I feel like, especially on the prod side, like there's maybe been a handful, and that's a small amount of people who I've just came out of working with them saying, I just don't like these people at all. Like, right. I could sit here and have conversations with so many people that I've done productions with, just because they are generally some of the best people like I've got to work with, and in some occasions meet.
Wholeheartedly agree, 100%. And I feel like that number is very much the other way around IRL. Yeah, where I've met some cool people in IRL jobs, but there's far fewer where, there's a lot more. Let me rephrase that. There's a lot more that I probably avoid and not want to spend personal time with than I've met in esports. And I mean by a large margin. By a large margin. It's very few people, I think, especially in Overwatch esports, that I wouldn't want to hang out. I'm like, I would love to hang out and have a beer with you, or whatever, just hang out and do something, get lunch, whatever, yeah, no doubt.
Something small, like, hey, we're just gonna talk for 20 minutes and then we can go on our own ways. Like, yeah, fine. I'm fucking down for that. It's always fun.
I met Nuki that way. As manager from Cloud9, used to manage Spitfire like in the heyday of Overwatch League. Just was down here doing a thing for Cloud9's like women's Valorant team in Dallas, and was like, "Hey, I'm just hanging out in Dallas. If anybody wants to get together and have lunch," I just sent a message like, "Hey, yeah, I'd love to network and just hang out." We just went and grabbed lunch, got some sandwiches. It was badass. She's amazing, and ended up being. And she's one of the best managers I've ever seen in the scene. It was an awesome conversation. It was just an amazing 45-minute conversation with another super professional esports nerd. And it ended up being a really cool contact that I still talk to you from time to time here and there, But absolute legend in the scene, particularly in those early OWL days.
I like living in a major market, especially one like Dallas, where one of the biggest markets in America. Great airport as well, so there's always gonna be people flying through there. Like, it always kind of makes me jealous of where I live, because like, if someone says, "Hey, I'm in Atlanta," and anyone want to grab something, it's like, I can't say yeah to that because I'm 5 hours away from the nearest major market. It's like, I imagine those things are really fun though.
It is really nice living in Dallas. That has been a huge benefit as far as being in esports. This is basically a hub. Part of it's just geographic. It's centrally located, but there's a lot of esports money here. There's been a lot of esports teams, and there's a reason the biggest esports stadium in the country was built here. So it's just kind of fortunate in that regard. For my hometown, it's like we got a lot of the field events have been here. A lot of Overwatch League events have been here because of the ESA, and even beyond that initial 2019 event. So yeah, definitely. Sometimes you just get lucky, And I won't argue with that.
Yeah, but let's actually move on now to, you kind of brought up towards the end that response there, but the work you kind of done with tier 2, tier 3, and more just kind of fuck am I going with this sentence? Let's just talk about FaceIt.
You got this.
I hate when bad things happen to good sentences.
My life every day. But let's talk about FaceIt right now, because like you said, over 300 individual games were broadcast in the last year, 15 months, 18 months.
430.
Oh, 400. Okay, fuck, I'm off by a lot there.
no, it's fine.
Yeah, the phrase wasn't incorrect.
Right? No, no.
That is more than 300.
That is also more than 300.
You've done more than one FaceIt broadcast in the last year.
More than one.
Yes, we've done more than one.
Gonna do the non-zero Price is Right strategy here. $1. Can't go wrong with $1.
The only reason I even know that is because I'm actually maybe planning something for 500. That's why I was like, okay, 500 is going to be coming in season 7, so I got to keep that in mind and have something, do something big. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
No, but like you kind of talked about there for a little bit, where you do all these ones, you do a lot with FaceIt tier 2, tier 3, and like you talked about the players and how it's like sometimes the biggest thing for them is getting their games cast and all that stuff, but like just in general, like there are weeks, like me and Hunter do FaceIt pretty regularly. Megalass has done it a little bit here and there as well. And like when you put out your schedule every week, it's just like, holy shit. You're doing 6, 8, 9.
Don't.
Shut the fuck up, Hunter. I stopped myself.
You did. Good job. I'm very proud of you. Continue.
I fucking lost my. But just doing so many of these games, and like you said,
right,
it's
putting out the schedule, and no, it's a lot.
It's to keep tier 2, tier 3 alive and keep players. I have to imagine like somewhat engaged, because you end up talking to a lot of players. You end up talking to a lot of teams, managers, coaches. Like, what has been the general kind of like vibe from all that? Because I imagine it's always kind of been positive, where teams are like, you're getting cast, or you're going to broadcast their game, you're going to cast their game. Because we see the response you get on Twitter when a team or someone says, "Oh wow, Bullskunk's like covering my game." Like, what is that all kind of like?
I mean, yeah, everybody's enormously grateful. And it honestly kind of blows my mind um, how much positive feedback I do get. And it's I don't even know how to react to it. It's like, oh, I mean, grow man blush. Like, come on now. But one of the things that really stuck with me is how much it means to the players and how much it motivates them to continue to come back and play, and how much that impacts like them going in and grinding. Wait a minute, no, this really does matter. That what we're doing, from a production casting standpoint, to tell the stories reinforces them. Hey, no, your stories matter. Your stories are important. And so it was that kind of feedback that really was like, okay, that stuck with me. More than just, hey, we appreciate it. Everybody likes to have their name shouted on broadcast. It's cool, it's fun, right? Show my mom, whatever. Like, but it's more than that, right? It was no, this gives credibility and credence to the time, the effort, and the passion that all the players are putting into this. And that was something that really is like, okay, we got to keep going. Like, let's get as much of this out there as we can, and do the best we can to provide coverage to the scene. Let's not, we remember the days of having that level of coverage of contenders, and how good a job they did of telling those stories. It's like I want that back. I want to see if I can come even more close to telling the stories like they did. That's I don't know. I think I kind of got off the track of what it, responding to the feedback. But the feedback is amazing, and again, it surprises me every time. But it was that value that is the one thing that really stuck with me more than anything.
Yeah, like from the small amount of time that me and Hunter have been doing this compared to you, like we've started to see that a little bit as well. Where there is definitely that general feedback of like, hey, we're getting our game covered. It's always kind of funny though when when me and Hunter we schedule a game and we find out like the day of, oh wait, there's 3 other people that are doing this game, and then it's like there's a part of me that feels very bad because then there's another game that's probably not getting broadcasted that definitely could, but it's a little bit too late to kind of go through the process of trying to find another game.
You know what? And maybe there is a day in the future where we're better organized as co-streamers, and it's like, hey, we check boxes or something on a Google sheet, and if you want to, you can see what other people are covering. I don't know, or I have actually proposed this to FaceIt. They show observers on the match page. And so when you pull up match page, it's like, oh shit, Bullskunk's in this room. I know for a fact, I can see it in the match page right there at the top of the screen. I don't have to go look at his schedule. I was like, oh, he missed his schedule, or I want to get my shit done now. I don't want to wait for him to get his schedule out. Like, no, you can go look at the match page and see who all's in there. Like, there's growth. There's ways that can happen. And, we do our best, and we can't, mistakes are going to be made. Yeah. Like, that's part of it. It's a community built thing. That's, we're not a professionally run production system. We're a bunch of fans just doing our best to try to make it work. So you know what? If something slips through the cracks, we can't beat ourselves up about it. And I think that goes for both the micro and the macro level.
Yeah, funny enough, like the first time me and Hunter did a game, because I'm not streaming on my own Twitch for this. I'm casting alongside Hunter on his. I filled out the form, and I think I talked to Manny D about it. He's like, okay, who you gonna be who you casting with? Because I believe it was Hunter and I think Ewan who was gonna be covering that same game. I was like, oh wait, there's someone else doing it, because I think at that point right then we did not know there's someone else doing that game. Right. But I mean, like, and
Ewan kind of came out of nowhere, right? He was just kind of a player that was like, I think I'll try co-streaming now, and just kind of came out of nowhere. He wasn't anybody that was coming through like the caster circuit, like so we all know each other, right? So yeah, I can see how that was a bit of a surprise.
Honestly, I think for the season that Ewan did do it, like he did a really good job. I think he got better throughout the entire season with doing it.
Sure,
and
definitely.
Like I've always been a proponent, or someone who's always said like, hey, if you're a player and you eventually say, I want to try casting a little bit, if you can get good at casting, you will go far because you have that knowledge of high level play. And Ewan is a top 500 support I believe. So he has that knowledge of
Yeah.
top level play.
He played in OWCS.
Shh. God damn it. I feel bad.
Yeah, I mean,
He was on
yeah.
Amplify. That was
Yeah.
he was part of the Amplify squad that jumped expert. I mean, that jumped Master Division. So and is now back on Amplify. They just retained their Master Division spot as of Saturday. I just cast them yesterday.
Yeah.
When they beat Cafe and retained their Master Division spot with Ewan, Gap, and Crazy Cat all rejoining the squad. But that's where Ewan came from. Ewan was part of the squad. They're the only team to skip T2. They went from tier 3 to tier 1. And it was
they had what was it? It was the big upset over Supernova. That helped them qualify.
Yep, exactly.
I feel so
Yeah,
bad.
and enormous. I still have the raw file of that match on my computer because I don't want to delete it, but I've never released it. I still have the raw file of that match.
Time to upload in 3 different places so that if it somehow corrupts on your computer, you have it somewhere else.
Throw that in a Dropbox somewhere and just
throw it in my Dropbox. I have one. You give that to you, and I probably should just give that to you and like, hey, here.
Hey, remember this?
Hey,
here
remember
you go.
this? Here's the raw file of that if you're ever interested. But yeah, that's and so I mean, and his pretty historic. I mean, you jumped from Expert Division to OWCS. I'm not sure that we'll ever see that again. I mean, I guess we'll find out come 2026, like what happens.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt it. That was an insane run, and it was really a culmination of things where it fell right into their meta, right into all their best heroes, and they were all just grinding and popping off. And Winter was playing, some of the best Overwatch we've ever seen out of her, and was definitely OWCS caliber. Still is if she's playing on top of her game. But yeah, so then they bombed out, obviously, because they went from expert to OWCS. They went from playing against expert teams to playing against Team Liquid. I mean, what'd you think was going to happen, and then Ewan was like, then went into co-streaming for season 5.
I think...
You know what?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just happy at this point that the Ewan curse is broken, because this has been an inside joke for me personally. That Ewan has had, and it's not a shot on Ewan itself. Ewan just has had really bad luck in 2025 being on teams. I'm just saying, this isn't a shot, but the curse is broken, Dex.
I've talked to the guy about it. He was like, he hadn't won a game since January 15th until very recently. Because Amplify didn't really win at the end of their season. Like after roster lock, they didn't really win much. Not that they won much beforehand, but they looked a lot better. They just faced a lot of really tough teams. Like, it wasn't that they were getting worse. They were actually improving. That was with the Ivory Biz squad, who are, I mean, veteran players, right? So I think they'll be fine. They held on to their Master Division spot. They are not back in expert. They worked really hard to get that spot. So shout out you and the co-streaming effort, and also Amplify. I was briefly a content creator for them, so
true.
Actually, a good point to kind of go into the next thing I really wanted to ask you was, you've been now a content creator for, I know it's been at least 3 teams this year.
Yeah. Accidental segue.
But like, one, how many teams has it been, and was it kind of like being a content creator for those teams? Because I know sometimes the word content creator gets thrown around, and it has different meanings for different stuff.
Correct. It's technically 2, I consider, and I've made this very clear. The ZoKork thing in my partnership with them is a sponsorship. I am not a content creator for ZoKork. They are sponsoring my efforts to promote tier 2 and tier 3. What this means is I'm not like overly cheering on ZoKork if they're in a match. I am not getting money to get them on stream more than other teams. There's no bias in getting them screen time or who I'm rooting for. It's important to me to stay very non-biased in that. And so technically it's 2. Including ZoKork. By the way you're thinking about it, it's 3, and that kind of goes back to your content creator kind of means anything. And honestly, with Amplify and Incendia, it was both. They were both at the very beginning of 2025. It was right when Amplify got their promotion from expert into OWCS, and we're like, hey, you want to come, sign on as our content creator. And it's like, sure, why not? It wasn't much more to it than that. There wasn't much more official than that. It was, I think, for both of us. And Amplify is a very small grassroots org, right? We're not talking about a big dollar org here. They were not offering me any big dollar contracts. It was, I think both of us were kind of feeling, hey, what does this mean? And so it was more, I think, a trial thing. But I think both of them were more just, a test drive than like some of these, you see Nightmare sponsoring people and that's, or SSG sponsoring, Commander X. Those are way more official than anything that's been handed my direction. It was really just like, we'll try it out. We'll see how it feels. But it wasn't much more to it than that. It was, let's do a couple interviews. Let's do a couple, make sure I give you, with Insignia, I got them a couple of, make sure to cover some of their matches. Where it was like planned, hey, we're going to make sure we can get these high profile matches on. That was just basically it with them. With Amplify, I did 3 interviews with them, but it was all in what I could provide them in my free time and how it felt. So once my free time kind of got gobbled up by FaceIt League, that kind of fell apart. But it was nice. It was flattering. And it's nice to see, because we're in a new era, and it's nice to see, that we can try things. How we get by as casters, that our landscape has changed entirely in the esports scene. And so co-streamers kind of figuring out, what does it mean to be a content creator? What are teams looking for? What does that mean to orgs? What kind of value can I provide to them? Does that increase my sustainability? Is there a way we can work together so everybody wins and we're all growing together? I think it's important to feel these things out. But we're all, it's still new. It's not like, hey, we have big dollar productions and we just put out a casting gig, and if we pick you, awesome, and you get this, big dollar gig and you're happy now. That doesn't exist anymore. We've kind of, and I kind of just started this just to pave my own way. I was like, I'm just gonna go stream and I'm just gonna just do my thing. I'll cast gigs I want to cast. I'm gonna cast grassroots stuff when I want to cast it. I don't want to be in competition really with anybody. I think that's stupid. I think we're all in this together. I didn't like being pitted against each other and stuff, right? So anyway, I think I've gone off the question here. I'm sorry.
No. Again, perfectly fine to get off the question, get off the rails a little bit. We encourage that, honestly. But no, going back to towards the end there were especially casting and the grassroots esports prod, we're not against each other. I don't if there's anyone that ever
No, I don't feel like we like that at all anymore.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I feel like it's way more camaraderie than there has ever been from the production side of things. Not that there was ever bad. It did feel a little more competitive back in the day.
I will say, when I first got in and I was doing a lot of stuff for Tranquility, when I would do small charity events and people who never heard of me before, when I said oh yeah, I mostly just do Tranquility, it was oh, you do Tranquility, and they were saying that as if it was a bad thing. I just never understood it. It's why are you talking about it as if it's a bad thing? We're all these small tournaments, man.
Yeah, we're all doing these things, and people have. And by the way, people have come from Tranquility and have literally blown up. Dora is the biggest example of someone who started in Tranquility and then became this big caster that went on to do amazing things. So it's
no, there's a lot of different grassroots orgs, and that's where that's where anybody gets their start. That's, unless you're a player, which I still don't necessarily agree with, anyway, that's a different story.
But here, for one quick moment, tagging on this, I want to talk about ZoKork, because me and Hunter have dealt a little bit with ZoKork. Not necessarily the I don't know what his name is, the person who owns ZoKork.
Lego boy.
Yeah, probably in the nature that you have, Bullskunk, but we saw Bullskunk, or fucking hell,
we saw Bullskunk. Yeah, Bullskunk's right here.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, we saw ZoKork pop up in South American, the South American Masters scene, and me and Hunter have a joke where if a team gets sponsored by ZoKork, they have a ZoKork buff, because that team, the team that ZoKork took over for, they barely got into playoffs the first season that we were doing South American Masters. Then they won the whole thing. Then you see it in NA Masters here this year, where they take over, I believe it was Daystar?
Yeah.
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 It
And
was the Daystar roster.
then they go on a run in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that roster was like that was the
Already
favorite
goated,
roster.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, but we're the problem is, well, it's not really a problem. It's that we're now 2 for 2 at
Yeah.
this stage of the game.
I mean, no, fair.
Yeah, can't wait to see whatever goes on with what they're teasing with the
Unterservals.
yeah, the the Untersables.
Oh yeah, they did that the Unter
Yeah.
the Unter logo thing that they released.
I mean,
Yeah.
they were also going to do something with, I believe, it was Gaming Guapos and one other team, but they were told to drop both of them because it was a conflict.
They did actually, I think, sponsor their efforts to get into OWCS. I mean, still, like that's they were asked to back out of a particular tournament because there were concerns of this one LCQ having match fixing. But they were still like, hey, we're going to finance. It was like Clear's team. They played each other. They ended up playing each other in the playoffs. So I was like, hey, that's the two teams that ZK are sponsoring. And now they have to go head to head against each other. It sucks. But there were two great teams, and ZK did still, I think, financially. Clear had put out a tweet, kind of saying, "Hey, we're going to need help to make it to Japan, to make it to these qualifiers, so we can do this and that." And I think they did kind of financially help them get where they needed to go. I think with some travel. I don't know any details of more than they helped them. Is what I saw on Twitter. And which also what publicly available is what I know. I'm not going by any kind of private information here.
Yeah, we're hoping you're gonna spill all the behind the scenes.
Oh, I have none.
Yeah.
I have none.
No, but
Where's
like,
the tea?
like there's like me and Hunter, like I said, have been kind of following what ZoKork is doing because we saw them in South America, and it generally seems like all that they want to do is truly help out these smaller teams and these smaller like regions. And I think one that's great, and especially when it's like the financial part of it as well, like you don't get that often, I feel like, in esports. And if you do, it's very, very small, and maybe they only stick around for a short amount of time before they kind of disappear. But ZoKork seems to be one that's going to be sticking around here for a while, and I think that's good.
I hope so. I've been very encouraged by my conversations with Lego, and it does seem just to be a genuine want to help out. And I mean, it's not just in esports. I mean, and just in life, you don't see money investments without a guaranteed return. With like, what can I get? What am I getting for my money? What is in it for me? You don't see that anywhere in life. So it is, I think, appropriate to be cautious. And like,
yeah.
But also it's encouraging, just like, hey, I mean, it is just a little bit here, a little bit there to try to help bolster the scene and try to help. I mean, and the efforts from, supporting my efforts, like let's help support T2 and T3 and NA and EU a little bit. Let's help support these teams, from underrepresented regions, try to get more eyes on them and try to accomplish their goals, in the name of the APAC teams, or even just kind of bolstering, I think, some of the South American teams. In all my conversations with the owner, I mean, does just seem a genuine want to bolster Overwatch in all of the regions, particularly the ones that have been underfunded and underseen. So I'm encouraged. So far, so good.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving me money every month. I can't argue. I mean, I love you, Lego. Thank you.
No, but like what I'll say about this is, like, when ZoKork first came, when like me and Hunter first saw ZoKork, there was a big there was a minor controversy in South America, in the region. So we were kind of,
right.
I think, at least I won't speak for Hunter. Like, I was kind of turned off by the entire brand, just because like what happened down there, and a lot of the people that we had really made friends with down there, at least being able to talk to a little bit through everything we did, was very, very unhappy with it. And then it just like, they've been.
I don't think that was on the brand of ZK. I think that was probably Lego just stumbling into something that he didn't understand because he hasn't been around in a while, and so he didn't fully. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to try to minimize the impact on the scene because I don't know exactly how it impacted the teams that you're talking about. But I will say I highly doubt that it was intentional. Probably just stumbled into something that he didn't realize.
Yeah,
he retweeted an awkward tweet and kind of had to be told, hey, this guy's like the Andrew Tate of Overwatch. You don't really want to be like, he's kind of stumbled through some fires where it's like, whoa, dude, like, careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you haven't been around in a while, man. Let's get you up to speed.
Yeah, and like kind of what I was saying was like it left kind of like ZoKork just itself in a little bit of a bad taste. But seeing what they've done not only in South America again, but in NA, APAC, Japan, and Ka as well, it's like it's been slowly like rebuilding like a lot of faith, and like what they continue to do is like they like in right now, at least in my eyes, like they're in good light with me right now. Like like the whatever happened in South America, yeah, that was a bad kind of intro for them to me, but everything else since then has been like, oh wow, they actually do really care about everything. And, okay, bye Hunter. Like they do really care about trying.
Okay, that seemed very sudden.
Trying to bolster the scene, and like I kind of said, people who are willing to invest into it, like I'm not gonna ever fight with them. Like they are doing work that not many other people are doing.
I think it's okay to be cautious. I think it's okay for us as a community to be like, hey, it's unusual for people to throw money at this without expecting things in return. But there's also seems to be in some smart, wise places that are. I mean, some supporting Clear's team that is a team that had a lot of eyes on them. They were very popular. That are very hardworking. Like it seems to be in some very smart places, maybe other than the initial folly in South America. I think that was also kind of built to fail. Like, yeah,
You're there. But I mean, it's great to have someone like that who's willing to really put a lot into helping out tier 2, especially other regions right now, get to perform on big stages.
I'm excited to see what they continue to do. I mean, we've seen it with Nightmare, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. Nightmare kind of came in and did the same thing. I mean, Flack just kind of came in and was like, okay, I'm going to build a brand now, and we're going to make an OWCS team, and we're going to sponsor all this, and we're going to, I mean, we're going to need some green in the scene if this is going to keep going. That's how it's got to be generated. Like, it's not going to just come out of thin air. It's going to need investment so we can get the wheel running, and we can start generating interest. We can start generating hype. We can start producing new talent. Like, that's all important. It takes money to make it happen. And I think we're actually in a fairly healthy spot going into 2026. So I'm excited to see. I mean, is ZoKork is just baby Nightmare right now? I mean, maybe. So far, it's there's been they can't all be zingers. It's not like everything Nightmare's done has been 100% flawless either. Sometimes you make mistakes when you're making big moves like that, but that's okay.
Shout out Nightmare.
You learn from
Legends.
your mistakes.
Was it League that Nightmare failed with? I think
may
it
have been.
Because I know they're doing stuff with the finals right now.
They got
At least
I just saw their content creator announcement with that.
they got a bundle in the finals already, and it looks really cool.
Yeah,
That's amazing. That's so cool.
Like they got the ghost mask to actually be like their ghost logo to actually be like a mask, which I think is
That's
really
sick.
It fits
It
them.
looks really good.
Yeah. They also like I have a bias towards them because they're a team that uses purple and they use it well. They use it really good. I love the color purple. I really do, and especially when someone uses it good.
Fair. Like old lads. Old lads.
Old lads, not like the neon purple.
No.
I don't mind that. I thought the pink was nice, but I just never understood where it came from.
Honestly, the pink isn't what bothered me. It was that they went lighter on the purple. If you're gonna add pink to it, the purple needs to be like a deep, rich purple, like a velvety, royal purple, and then it pops against the pink. They made it like this kind of bright purple against a pink, and it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't pop to me. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't say it was bad. It was still a professional design. It just didn't pop to me.
It's bad, but the Overwatch 1 skins looked way better though. Is all I'm saying. I still got the Overwatch 1 Gladiator skin for Reinhardt, and that is S tier skin right there.
Rocking an LH Cloudy skin. Is that what that's
exactly? That is exactly what it is.
I think I have like 3 Overwatch League skins. They're all fusion skins. I think they're for Orisa, Brig, and I don't remember who the last one was for. Like,
I have so many.
Unfortunately, Bullskunk's gonna hate this, but like 70% of them are outlaws.
That's fine. I don't mind.
There are some people that were Dallas fans. And I'm like, yeah, I got Houston stuff, and it's like, you're dead to me. Never speak to me again.
No, I can understand. Houston was like a grassroots team. I can understand. I can understand.
Zero world titles, baby.
I hate what happened with Outlaws because I honestly thought that was the best brand, the best logo in Owl.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, they gave it to that douchebag.
yeah,
Right.
And
like,
they
not only did I think that was the best logo in Owl, I thought that was the best logo of any of the Houston sports teams.
You're not wrong. It was honestly a really cool logo.
Like-
It was genuinely a really cool logo.
They had cool logos. Their jerseys were cool. Their hype videos were some of the best in the league. They had some of the best personalities for the longest time, and it just and for some reason it was one of the first ones to completely implode.
Jake and Custer
my
were
God.
some of the most likable players to ever go through the league, and they had, I mean, yeah. Anyway.
Listen, if we
God.
give Lord
And so
Enzo
you had
more
Jake on
money, he'll
Outlaws.
salvage it. He'll put it together. Trust. Just give him more money. He would have fixed it. I promise.
Give that man $10 more, and it would have been fixed.
$10 million more, and maybe
Just give me the brand. Just give it to me. Give it to me.
I mean, I bet you could buy it now.
I bet I could. Well, to be fair, I don't know, because full context, I did legit try to buy the Shoes Money Crew IP. I legit went out of my way to try to find the owner. Could not find them. Their business emails defunct. Couldn't find the owner listed anywhere.
You could just take it then. It's an abandoned.
Could just take it.
Yeah.
Is that how esports works now?
If someone's not using a brand, they don't have a trademark, you could just take it.
Huh. I gotta think about this. I need to think about this.
While you
I'm
think
still
about
thinking, I just like old Soul Dynasty skins. I don't. I'm
Oh,
still
they're
on,
so sick.
I'm still in Overwatch League. It's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, they just look good.
I'm gonna look
But-
at my Overwatch skins now. Screw it.
The black and gold with gold weapons in particular, it just looks so good. It looks so good.
They're so sick.
They're so sick.
we have two.
No.
Go ahead.
No, you first. You first.
No, I was gonna say there's two black and gold teams in OWCS who got skin bundles, and I think they gave them to the wrong teams. Like I think they gave the teams are right. I think they gave the teams the wrong bundle.
Wrong color scheme.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
who's the other? I know Space Station. Who's the other one that's black and gold? It's it's Gen G. They gave Space Station like a very like shiny gold, and not like a bright gold, which is kind of what I associate them with. And they gave Gen G that bright gold, like almost yellow. I was like, these don't. I think it should be the other way around.
I mean, Gen G was behind Soul Dynasty. Like they should have just kept the Soul Dynasty colors. Genuinely, they should have just kept the Soul Dynasty colors.
Yeah.
They look so good.
You could have just been Gen G Dynasty, like.
I'm still hoping we get more teams back. I still think there is a world where we get more teams coming back. I know some came and left for the big like payout. Just for a one-time payout, but I'm still hopeful that as this continues to grow, I mean, it's one thing that's been very encouraging with seeing the T2 T3 scene is there is a lot of young up and coming talent. There's a lot of people that are still hungry and are still playing and are still there to make the next era work. So
Yeah, and we'll
get more teams. We'll get more pop-offs.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and we've had some people on in the past who work with some of those like smaller orgs who are in tier 2, tier 3, like throughout the entire thing of the entire ladder of FaceIt, and it's really cool because to talk with them, and because they talk about like they'll take players who this is maybe their first time playing in an organized competitive thing, and within a year it's like they've improved so much, and it's always a fun thing to see.
It really is. It's a fun thing to get to tell their stories. I think we're very lucky, personally.
Yeah.
It's really awesome to see.
Incredible to see. And like you said, especially because it's like there's a lot of new young talent, and like I always kind of look at that like, hey, is there new talent coming in? Because if it's not, then it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? And I think sadly right now in the grassroots, the leagues, we're at that moment where it's like there's some new talent coming in, but there's not as much coming in. So Like in
It's
CG.
there. We just got to keep building. We just
Yeah.
got to keep building.
But,
Keep going.
Crimsons, dude, Crimsons looked so good. Crimsons came out of nowhere this past season. They're going to be in Master Division. The Almayan squad, like we've got that young talent. Like the hype isn't as built around. Okay, there's a few things we have to catch up on. We don't have players playing from the age of 13 in contenders. We don't have Sugar Brawn and Infected that started playing in contenders at 13. Rhino was the other one. All three of them started super young.
Yeah,
playing at a very high level.
Tree did too, right? Didn't
Tree
Tree
was
start when
pretty
he was like
young.
13 or 14?
Yeah, Tree was pretty damn young. So we got to catch up a little bit from that. There's a little bit of a gap in there, but I'm telling you, they're coming. Like the new talent is on the rise, my friends. Don't you worry. It's there. It's there. There's just a little bit of a gap. There's just a little bit of a gap we got to get past.
I think we're almost to that point where that gap is about to pass. I think we are, especially going into next year. I think we're so close. Yeah. But moving away from this topic, I actually want to poach something off of what Soav asked for a potential question.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, that was a good question.
Yeah. So, so I'm going to directly take it from him. That's why I'm saying it. Like, is there anyone necessarily in this community that you truly want to work with right now? Like, you do a lot of stuff on your own, but you still do these things where it's like, hey, you're going to do these big events. You're going to be casting with these people. Is there anyone that you, like, are still kind of waiting for that day where it's like you're finally casting with them? Or working with them?
We have another multifaceted question.
Sorry.
And it's been such an interesting journey, right? Because I started my casting journey, like had a duo for the longest, and then kind of went solo and just didn't cast with anybody. Don't feel like I've had a duo in some time. Recently, I've actually, as far as multi layers to this. I'm gonna start with I've really enjoyed casting with OC lately. I think she is amazing. I think she is extremely good at it. Needs some refining, but has a really good brain as a color caster. Really just enjoy casting with her. So I think one of the new people that I think has a lot of respect for it and knows like, hey, I need to get better as a caster. But as far as a new face around, I've really enjoyed casting with OC a lot lately. As far as like looking up, as far as man, if I could like cast a match with Avril and truly hold my own and truly be like, Avril be like, great job, loved it, we had a great vibe, did a good job, man. And like, it would, I would die happy. Like, I would just be like, all right, that's it. And I've had 2 VOD reviews with Avril, and he's brutal as fuck. All right, like, the absolute most brutal VOD reviews, like where you're like, I need to sleep for a week to recover from that. I have a profound lack of self-confidence for a couple days. I gotta go lick some wounds. And then you turn around and get better. And then if I fix all these things, then I'm ready. Like there's no beating around the bush. If I fix the things that he tells me to fix, then I'm gonna be a T1 caster. I'm still working on them, y'all. Don't get me wrong. To be able to cast with Avril and it actually go well and me actually hold my own and be a good play-by-play caster would mean that I got there. That I accomplished a lot of those things that I've been working so hard to get better on all this time for all these years. Last one would be Wolf, because that was just somebody I met all that time ago that I've looked up to all this time ago. I've always thought was an amazing color caster, and that would be kind of the legacy. Like that was a legacy Overwatch caster that would just be fun to say I got to cast with Wolf once. That would be amazing. So yeah, there's a few facets to that, for sure. But yeah, I think that pretty well covers it. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but damn, those are the ones that come to mind just right off the cuff.
Yeah, and like it's I'll say this, it's kind of been fun to watch OC's journey here, because it's really like she's been on and off casting for a little bit, but it seemed like this year she started to take it a little bit more seriously, and she's been doing her own FaceIt co-streams here and there as well. And having that mind is always very, very interesting, especially for a color caster. Like having someone who's coached, I feel like does add a little bit of an extra layer to it, because they can kind of talk about what Wow, I just lost my train of thought. They can kind of
She's
talk
really
about.
good at presenting the information.
Mhm.
It's not just that she knows the information. She's really good at presenting the information in an accessible and understandable way. Like I think she's got her own little personality as well, a very unique style and her own unique voice, and just got a good brain, you know. And the content, I enjoy her content as well. I'm a fan. Cast with her for the season 5 grand finals, right?
Mhm.
I mean, how fun were those? Those were so good.
Those.
Oh my god.
But that was
Yeah.
Shut up, Midori.
I like at least in
God.
A, y'all had all the great matches in an A. I had an EU, and it was kind of one sided in EU. But my cast with her in those grand finals, the only reason I bring this up was one of my favorite casts, one of the best casts I think I've ever done. Like that was I just really enjoyed that time in the booth with her for those grand finals.
Those playoffs in season 5, were one insane. Midori just saying,
Midori,
we're going to
dude.
map 5 every game.
What was it? 9? I think it was 9 map 5s is what it ended up being, something like that. It was a
Fun.
ridiculous number of map 5s.
It was, but like they had 4 straight in the playoffs. Like that was the wildest thing.
God.
That was a good time. That was a good time. Good matches.
Season 5, I think, might go down as honestly one of the best FaceIt seasons ever, because, and like me and Hunter talked about it a little bit during that playoffs there, where hey, yeah, there's after the first series, like hey, map 5, that's something normal in NA Masters. Like there's a lot of map 5s in the regular season. I don't think we were prepared for 3 more series to go map 5 that night, but
We were not.
I mean, season 6 was highly competitive. I honestly think
It was.
I honestly think that the tier breaks have been very good, and the level of competition has gotten more and more refined as 25 went on. So from seasons, because I've been doing since season 2, right? 2 and 3 were definitely a little rough, but seasons 4, 5, and 6 definitely felt like, hey, we're actually starting to kind of refine expert and master division into where it feels like this is T2, where it didn't before. 2024, I wasn't confident like, hey, master division is T2. Like it was like, like top 4 master division, and maybe some of the bottom of OWCS is kind of T2. And if you made LAN for OWCS, then that was considered T1. I'm sure there's still somebody out there that still has that point of view. But I think the level of competition has increased enough in 25 throughout this past year that we genuinely have a really nice little break, and it's, the promotions are hard earned and well deserved. And yeah, the teams we have in Master Division, I think, very much quantify our tier 2 system, and it's leveled out nicely. It's balanced out nicely. I hope I don't lose that going into 26. Damn it! I'm a little worried, but I'm okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, and like, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of bought into the whole doom and gloom when that whole announcement came out about what was gonna go on with season 7 of FaceIt, but I think that was just maybe a little bit. Like I said, I was buying into the whole doom and gloom of it all.
No, there's definitely some issues that needed to be addressed. I think there's reason for concern. Honestly, I think if they leave it just as is, it's not great. But they're not going to. I know for a fact. I can tell you for a fact that I don't know how much will change, but they are looking to address some of these issues before season 7 starts. I know that for a fact. Which is good. And they're listening.
There's still time, plenty of it. So
yeah, no, and they're listening, and they've set up systems to listen. That's the thing. Is FaceIt, at least they know that they've missed enough that they need to set up systems like, okay, we need to be listening to the public here because we've kind of we've missed enough big important things. We've done enough big things badly that we need to start listening to people who are involved. That's what I like to think, at least, y'all. That's what I'd like to think.
If there's enough negative feedback or just stuff that some people dislike from the entire community, hopefully they'll change it. I think they will.
It's not just that. It's giving some of us a direct link to those who are making decisions. It's not relying on Twitter to convey this information. To where now, like I had that, I had the stream to talk about season 7, and FaceIt people were lurking in the background. And I had managers from teams and players from teams, and we were all in and had a good conversation. We made a list of here's some genuine, understandable concerns. Here's some solutions. And there's people from FaceIt that were in there listening and watching. And I've also heard that they have constant communication with Blizzard as well. It's not, they want to work really hard to get this cohesive and to get this right.
And I mean, there are some negatives, I think, to ESL and FaceIt doing, or I think there are some people who had a lot of like negative thoughts when ESL and FaceIt took over the esports scene for Blizzard, from Blizzard. But I think year over year so far, from year 1 to year 2, there was a big improvement, and I think going in from year 2 to year 3, I think there'll be another big improvement. It might be bad on paper, but maybe in practice it will be a little bit better. And like you said, there's still a lot of time for them to make some changes to some stuff.
This is an important one. They need to improve a few things going into season 7. I still don't expect it to be perfect. I put a tweet out earlier today, like, hey, y'all, remember, this is our first time doing a yearly reset in this new system. We've never had a promotion relegation system before from our highest T1 in Overwatch esports ever. And so doing an annual reset is a good thing. That's always been done. I mean, that's traditional sports do it with a draft most commonly, right? But you got to shake things up. Otherwise, the other options are literally what? We keep the same 8 teams that you just saw play stage 3 are the same 8 teams that we're going to see in stage 126. That's boring. Like that's not fresh. That doesn't feel like a new season, right? You can't do that. Are we going to promote teams based on their performance in season 6? Are we going to promote teams in February based on their performance that we saw in October? That doesn't feel right. So like, there's definitely some problems with the season 7 thing, but I think we can iron those out. And I do think it's the best solution of the 3. And it is still, once again, our first reset. We need to do a reset. A reset is good. You want to keep it fresh. That's kind of my point there with bringing up those 2 examples. But and we've never done that before. We've never done that before where we've had promotion relegation. So there's going to be some growing pains, and I don't expect them to get it perfect. I hope they improve it. I still don't expect it to be perfect this first time around. You know, there's still going to be room for improvement next year. I promise.
Yeah, there will be. I mean, last year we literally had the system where literally anybody could decide to put together a team, and you could be no WCS like that. It was top 16 that first stage, and then from then on, it was top 12 because the top 4 would stay in. It literally anybody could, and you got to see so many different teams and so many different players go against each other, and that's exciting. But it was also very convoluted. It was very messy, and year 2 is a very good example of them like fixing it, but it's still not a perfect system. And are we ever going to have a perfect system? No, probably not. But
you refine it and you keep improving.
Yeah, exactly.
You never get. I don't know. As a bartender, I went to booze, but you never get alcohol 100% purely distilled, right? You can't ever get all of the mess out of anything. When you're trying to distill, is just purifying something. It's just separating 2 elements, right? There's many ways to distill something. Just most common is making booze. But you never can't get it to 100%. You can't ever get all of the contamination out. There's always going to be a little bit of something wrong. There's always going to be some little imperfection. Doesn't matter how many times you try. You will never get it all out.
I mean, FaceIt. I like I said through this. I think they're gonna have to listen a little bit here and make some changes. But like I said, I'm looking forward to next season. Here, honestly, wait. It starts the end of this month, doesn't it? We're not that far away.
Yeah, it starts the 23rd.
And roster lock is what, the 18th?
Are they doing a roster lock before the
or not roster lock, registration?
Yeah, original like.
Their registration will end like just before, like right before the 23rd. I think it's currently listed at like the 18th or 19th right now. But they're gonna play 4 weeks and then take a break for Christmas, New Year, and then play the remaining 4 weeks of the season.
I think it would have been really funny to see a team try to schedule a game on Christmas.
Oh my god!
Because there would be a team out there who would try to schedule it. Just
100%.
I'd stream it. Why not?
Yeah.
I bet you'd get great viewership. I don't even know who it. I don't care who it is. I bet you. it's Christmas. People are like, yeah, I want a break from this. I'm just gonna watch some Overwatch.
I mean, my family's celebrating Christmas early this year, so actual Christmas Day, I'll probably be free.
I mean, genuinely, as a bartender, one of your busiest days. You would think that nobody comes in because everybody's doing family stuff and all of that. By like the end of Christmas night, like everybody's over it and everybody is getting out and going to the bar. Like it was, everybody's like looking for something else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that a little bit too well. Where I live, you get everyone who's either, like you said, tired of being with family, or they kind of no family is around them, so they
don't
all
have
go,
family local.
Yeah, they'll go hang out at a bar, which is really fun sometimes.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with that.
But here, let's get back to just, especially with you here. Like, you've done a ton of big events throughout your entire career. What would you kind of look at and pinpoint as like, this was maybe your favorite, maybe the one you kind of look at as like potentially it being something that got you a little bit more notoriety, or or got you noticed a little bit more? Like, what is one event that you kind of look at and say like, this was a big one for me for maybe multiple reasons?
For casting, getting contenders, even if I wasn't their first choice, but getting what's that?
They told you that? They told you that you weren't their first choice? Holy, I can't speak.
Oh yeah, no, I was a backup. Like I was a backup. Because like Sydney had to travel or something. But yeah, basically, yeah, I wasn't even their first choice. But I still got to cast Contenders China, run it back 2022. So that was that was one where I felt like it was a huge deal to get that gig. It was like 3 days of cast. It was my 3 days I got to cast Contenders. But man, what a 3 days, you know, and we worked really hard on it, and I was very proud of the work we did. Yeah, that one was huge. That one was huge. And even if nobody else even saw it, like even if it wasn't that really it got me any more notoriety or anything like that, that was one where I just felt like that was an awesome gig. I was proud to be a part of it, and I thought we did a really good job on it. The CECC LAN, 24, not 25, but 24, got to cast that for NECC, and that was a lot of fun just because of the live environment. Actually, screw that. You know what? The best LAN I ever did was the Intel Inspires LAN with Jag. That LAN was so good. There was like nobody there. It was like 2 high school teams, and then we had ISU Northwood. Like, and we got to cast them both. But they had the desk. It was at ESA, right? Where I mean, y'all been at ESA, right? The Arlington Stadium in Dallas. Okay, so it's. Normally, the casters are either like in the back room or kind of in an elevated area is where like Owl would have them. For CCC, they would stick the casters in a green room back behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. For Intel Inspires, they had us on a desk like right in front of the stage. And so I could turn around on the stage or from my caster's booth and like look at the players and look at the screen. And it was just amazing. So yeah, that's ESA. That's ESA. And so on the caster booth was just this beautiful stage kind of on the right-hand side of what would be this shot. And this stage is gorgeous. I absolutely love this stage. And so it was getting to be that close was really special. And even though there was like nobody there, it was like casting to like parents and a handful of friends, right? You know, and other players. That was a really neat event. That was a really, really cool event and really fun to cast.
Funny enough, I think I casted one of the online matches for that. Like when they were.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think it was.
That's amazing.
I think it was. I can look it up who it was because I was writing it down by that point. I know it was Arizona State versus someone. I don't remember who the other school was, but I remember it was Arizona State.
Yeah, we got the grand finals for both in the building. And I remember Deerfield High School was the high school that won. And that call was on my reel forever. Like that was their tank made some amazing play, and I was really proud of the call, and it was like casting this little high school squad. It was fun casting the ISU North Sports squad, but it was casting the high school squad was like actually the highlight of the whole thing.
I still want to get into casting. Like I like at the start of the year I said like collegiate was my big goal, and I've kind of come to terms with like I'll probably never get collegiate. If I can get like high school or middle school, I think that'd be fucking incredible. Like those are I would imagine some incredible stories you could tell down there.
Yeah. I mean, just keep doing your thing, man. There's no reason. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't get collegiate. Honestly, I mean, I lost my only collegiate gig this year, to be honest. So it's kind of like,
It's not me stopping it. It's just me like I would rather like I'm still gonna try to pursue it, but it's also at the same time I would much rather have it be like someone who's still in college or someone who just got out of college who might know the scene a little bit better. Like I would advocate more for them getting it than me. But if there's an opportunity, I'm not gonna say no.
I mean, I think whoever can do the best job is who should get the gigs. It's, whether
True.
they're in college or not. If you know the players, you know the scene, and you're a good caster, that's who should get the gigs. That's it.
Yeah. Hunter, you have anything or any questions here for Bullskunk?
Are we doing the thing now? We're doing the questions?
I mean, if you want to do your normal question, sure. If you have anything else, if you want to take the part of Sohab's question I didn't ask, you can take it.
You did do that. I'll ask the normal question because I should know the answer because it should be simple.
Go ahead.
But I don't know if it's going to be Bullskunk. I asked this question to everyone for what's been like the last probably 5 months now, something like that. But we all have names that we use within the community. Obviously, we have our own names. People know them sometimes. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they put them in their own freaking gamer tag. But you have things like Megalass, like Dexatron. So the question this is all looping around to is the name Bullskunk. What is its origin? Where does it come from?
Oh wow. It was just honestly, I just saw it somewhere like years and years and years ago. I don't know. I don't even remember what it was. I don't even know if it was like something on TV or something just stupid. And I was just like, that is just an awesome name. And it was literally that simple. I just thought it sounded like a fun gamer tag. There's really not much more to it.
Oh my god. I was ready for something. I'm not disappointed by any means, but this is not what I expected.
You wanted deep lore.
I know. I've given you a lot of very layered, nuanced answers all night long. Yeah, the origin of my name? No, it's not really that. It's not really that exciting. It's really not.
It's just Hunter wants the deepest lore about all this because that has been a question sometimes that's taken some people 10 minutes to respond to. A minute.
Yeah, I think it was like a strain of weed or something, like way back in the day when I was in college. I mean something stupid. Yeah, incredible. I mean it was nothing exciting. Yeah, I was like, that sounds like a cool gamer tag. It just sounds like a cool name.
Incredible. Before we get on to Mega's question here, one question sorry.
Wait, hang on. I need to throw a flag on the play here.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna let you bring that up.
No, not my question.
No,
but
the other thing.
What's the other thing?
The thing you messaged me about.
Oh,
no, not even that. That's completely different. Because I have a conversation
now I'm intrigued.
From DMs with Bullskunk in March of 2024.
Wow.
Because as soon as Hunter asked, because Hunter always asks us, I was like, oh, I know some of the lore on this. Because you talked about your past as an animator and making a bull, like you talked about having a Bullskunk thing. I'm pretty sure.
That's all accurate. That is all accurate. I did, because I animated one for my original logo.
So what you're saying is the name came first out of nothing, and then
I just saw the name somewhere. Like I think it was legitimate. I've had this gamer tag for 20 some odd years at least. This is my Xbox gamer tag. I've had this gamer tag for a long time. And we're talking like old block Xbox. We're talking like Morrowind. All right. We're talking like Splinter Cell. All right. Chaos Theory. One of the best games. They need to remake Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, by the way. One of the best games ever made.
Jet Set Radio.
Oh, Jet Set Radio.
So that's that. Yeah, and that's where it came from. It was. I think it was legitimately. I'm not even confident on that, but I think it was legitimately like a strain of cannabis. And I was like, oh yeah, it knocks you on your ass. I'll knock you on your ass. Yeah, I'm an aura gamer. Yeah. Like, it was something stupid like that. But no, my degree's in foam and animation. And so my original logo, I made a whole character, like drew it up and rigged it and animated it so I could do all my alerts and stuff were all using those animations and using that character. No, that's all still accurate. That is 100% true. There's additional lore. It's not contradictory lore. It's just additional lore.
Like we need the Wikipedia page.
Part of being an old man, I have a lot of stories. It goes way back. It goes way back.
The only thing, like, the moment you said, "Oh yeah, you drew it up and you rigged it," is like, how close are we to having that original thing becoming a VTuber?
Yeah, but I say
that's why me and him talked about it. Is because he was talking about VTubing.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it originally came from. And I've tossed around the idea, like, because I do have a whole character. But it's very difficult. It is very difficult to do. That is very difficult to do.
It's just so funny. It's also really cool that you could make your own character as well. But here, before we get into Mega's question, a question that I want to ask, and one, it's something that you kind of just touched on a little bit, very like as an offhand like kind of thing. Fuck, how do I want to phrase this without it sounding like really mean? And I know me saying that out loud isn't gonna help at all. But right now, you are probably one of the older casters in the scene.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, motherfucker.
Me being old is okay. It doesn't have to be an
you
elephant.
can. I know what you want to ask. Just ask it. It's fine.
No,
I don't know what he wants to ask. I'm curious now.
I'm pretty sure I do.
I can't help time. Like, I can only feel so bad about something that is completely out of my control. It's not like me getting old was a decision I made. You know? It's not like,
no, but with you being one of the older casters out there, and someone that I think probably a lot of young caster people who are just getting into casting who probably look up to, what is that kind of like? Especially when you have maybe casters who are almost half your age or just a little bit older than that come and talk to you and ask questions about like how they could really improve that. Like, what is that kind of like? Just having that kind of, I know it's an experience question, but still having like people who are half your age come and talk to you about it all.
I think it's a really good question. It's something I used to be really self-conscious about, right? It was when I was first getting into it in particular. I actually had this conversation with the infamous 2019 homestand. I had this conversation with one of the producers from Overwatch because she was like, yeah, being in my 30s in esports. And we were like, oh shit, I can actually kind of understand that. Like, how did you do that? Because I feel like it's so daunting. It was, I'm not in my 30s anymore. Newsflash, spoilers. But it was something I used to be very self-conscious about. And it was really recently in doing FaceIt League and stuff like that. Because I was worried like maybe people would feel like I wouldn't be able to connect, or that there was just such a difference in the generational and just time. You know what I mean? Like, that's normal. I mean, that happens. That I wouldn't be approachable or be able to connect with anybody at all. And that was my biggest fear of the whole thing. And of course, just being judged for, again, something that's completely out of my control, right? That always sucks. And there's definitely a lot more youth in esports than not, right? We're like, oh, you're 25, you better retire, man. You're a like, you can't play. You can't play at 24. What are you doing? Oh my God. I mean, jeez.
You say
get a load of this guy.
You say 25. I think Mega's the youngest person here.
Yeah. Recently though, I was talking to somebody about it, and one of the players, and It was one of the EU players. I'd have to go back, and I think I know who it was, but I don't want to put a name to it if I'm wrong. But said something about who you are and your age and your experience gives validity to what you do. Like, that is just all part of what people like about you, like what makes you you. And that's just part of who you are, and that's part of your brand and what you bring. And then it's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. So then I can just lead into that. So when it comes to like giving advice or anything like that, I never think age has shit to do with that. That's experience. That's not age. And those are not the same thing. There are overlaps, but they're not a 1-to-1, especially when it's a skill. I picked up casting very late, so I just picture, if somebody asks me for casting advice at this point, I think you're asking somebody who's been casting for 6 years, who's been doing this for 6.5 years. That's not, you're asking somebody who's old and has been around the block and a little bit more seasoned. What is this? What is this television line? It's like, oh God, what a terrible thing to say to a man. Never tell a man he's seasoned. Oh God. But no, that's not how I look at it, right? It's like, oh, you're somebody who's done a lot of casting. And that's just as I would go to Leg Day or Avril or somebody who's been casting longer than I have looking for advice. So, and even then, it's, I felt like if we gave VOD reviews of each other, we've been doing it long enough. I feel like it'd just be VOD reviewing peers. That to me isn't. It's not like I'm old, you should listen to me, or I'm using a very just general example, but you get my point. Like, It's just casters. We're just all peers. We're all just in this together anyway. So it's like, even when I give advice, take it with a grain of salt. There's gonna be it may not all apply to you. So. Long story short, I feel a lot better about it now than I used to be. Used to feel really weird about it, and like, God, I hope people don't, know how old I really am. Oh my God, they'll hate me. No one will like me if they know how old I really am. Like, that thought entered my head more times than I care to admit. I don't feel nearly as much that way anymore.
I will say this: the only moment I ever had like something like that happen to me is when I asked Tiny Shiny for a VOD review. And then, like, a day or two before, it's like, oh yeah, she's still in college. She's not, like, like, someone told me her age. Like, I'm older than her. Like, yeah. I thought, if anything, like, she was at least out of college or something like that. Like, like that. And that was it.
I understand. I know that's because I did her first VOD review when she was 16 and still in high school. And I was like, God, this girl's in high school. And I was like, she's really green, but she's going to be really good. She's got a lot. Even then, that very first VOD review, I was like, Tiny's going to be really good. She's got a lot of chops. Like, it was immediately apparent. But yeah, that's the only reason I even know. It's like, yeah, she's still in high school. Like, and doing this. Like, I was so jealous. Like, you're casting esports at 16? Like, I was born way too late. Damn it.
Insane.
It's amazing. It's wonderful.
Tiny's incredible with what she does. And
yeah.
Like,
100%.
Yeah, and it's weird to say that. I think, like, I've had conversations with people, like, she's doing a lot of con now. She's kind of taken, I think, over the. I don't like that sound. What did Zay do?
What, Zay? Did Zay do a thing?
Yeah.
Ruh-roh. Cat break something?
Oh no, I just heard.
We can only hope.
But like, I don't want to say it because I don't necessarily know if it's like the right thing to say. But I think, like, Tiny is kind of taken over being like the face of Ka, away from like CB a little bit, especially at least in the casting sense of it. Like,
recent times, I could see that.
But like, I don't necessarily ever truly want to say that because I know CB still really does care a lot about it.
I know. That doesn't,
Yeah.
You're not saying anything about whether that is a right decision or a good decision. That is just what has happened recently. We have seen Tiny casting more recently. I mean, that's a factual statement. She was casting the LCQs last night.
Great job as well. Like, Ka goes on forever. Like that.
It feels like
I went to bed at like 10:30. It was like, oh God, it's still going.
Still going.
Oh my goodness. It's Ka's great, but dear God, like the teams are so close to each other that you're getting a long series.
There's been plenty of criticism on the TO format. again, always room for improvement. You know, you can't ever distill something to 100%. There's always going to be imperfections.
Yeah, but no, another thing is like I wish more people would get into casting around like the time that Tiny did, around that age, because it's like people getting into the esport around the time trying to be a player. Like, okay, we're gonna see this player's entire evolution, or entire growth if they make it to the top. If we could do that with a caster or someone in prod, it would be awesome to see.
Well, I mean, you should, right? The idea is that hopefully the caster or prod job lasts long enough that it would, well, that would take a long time. Well, let's just, in my ideal world, Tiny Shiny has a 30-year career of like casting esports, as opposed to the retiring at 23 that we see in players.
Yeah, it happens way too much, and luckily we don't have because it's like, oh, you're 24, guess what, buddy, you're not playing for a team. People will see those like Freeho was someone who was like, who was it? I'll just say LH Cloudy. LH Cloudy was still playing in his is in his 30s now, I think.
I don't know if he's quite 30, but he's been playing for some time.
Really,
he had to be 18 to be on Glads in 2019.
Okay, then I'm thinking of a different name. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna fact check just really quick because I'm probably wrong.
His age is
okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of somebody else then. Yeah.
But I think he's 27 or something.
He's 26. Yeah.
It's always so funny.
Who am I thinking?
It's always so funny to see esports players.
Soon was playing at 31.
Yeah,
true.
It's always so funny to see esports players like when they celebrate a birthday. It's like the moment the moment someone turns like 24 and they're still a player, everyone just starts calling them Unk.
Yep, the Unks come out. Oh, you're getting the birthday announcement. It's like, oh, I'm Unk now. Fuck, just hanging up.
Like we've made the joke where it's like 24. Okay, you're Unk. If you're still doing it at 29, you're the next step above Unk. Which is, I think, at that point, just grandpa.
You're just timeless at that point. Like, just keep going. Like,
I think it's where it's like the people that are in that first phase of Unk can call people in the second phase Unk. I think that's how it works.
Is that how it works? All right,
I bet that's how it works.
Shout out to that one Tekken player. I know there's a fighting game player. I think it's Tekken, who's like 48.
Oh my god!
Get it?
And
he's for the boomers.
He like does pretty well, but it's always funny when he plays like, oh yeah, here's a 15-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Mega.
Is it time?
Yeah.
Is it time?
Yeah, well, hold up. Before you bring that up, I do want to say, because I had to look this up to verify I was not going to be speaking out of my butt. But the oldest I remember an Overwatch player specifically being, which kind of goes under the radar, but his final season, Neptuno, when he was on charge, was 30. Literally 30 years old.
Soon is 31.
Was Soon 31? Well, he's 31 now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but he played on Peps like recently. He played on Peps at 31.
That is true.
In OWCS.
See, Spectrum has influenced the Soon market here, to say the least. There's been things that have been said about Soon. All positive, of course. All positive, of course. But,
Wait, are we getting our Spectron glazing session right now?
No, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. He's weighing.
But also, great shout on Neptune. I wasn't trying to overshadow that. Great shout on Neptune, and he was absolutely playing in Overwatch League at 30.
Absolutely Neptune was old as fuck.
Yeah.
Listen, it's great. It's great when people can do that. But okay, so actual question. We have so much positivity that goes on here. I have to be the one to balance it out, and we have to look at some negative things, right? Got the image. There we go. Perfect. Wonderful. So Bullskunk, I want you to think back, right? Because obviously, you said it yourself. You've done a lot of cash. You've done some fun events and things like that. Across all and any prods you've ever been a part of, ever done, right? You can go for like something serious. You can go for something that was petty. I just want you to think of one thing that really grinded your gears. And what would it be?
One thing that really grinded my gears. I was casting Suravasa.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I love Suravasa.
I think
casting Suravasa.
Hunter's the only Suravasa hater I know.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I used to love New Junk City. Everyone hated it. I'm like, nah, this is the best Flashpoint map. Is amazing. Then they did they tried to fix the maps. They made Sarabasa better, and they killed my enjoyment for New Junk City. I hate that map now. F tier map. Get out of here.
What did they change? I thought it was just a visual update on New Junk. What did they change?
No. They changed the entrance to both Ducks and
okay, my bad.
Like
Refinery.
2 of the points are almost like completely like
Ducks and Refinery got some pretty significant changes. But I think they're wonderful. I think they're very positive changes.
I think Sarabasa, yes. I just
the Sarabasa changes are so minor. They changed like that one stairwell on Ruins.
That's because they did to Sarabasa. That's the thing. They didn't need to change Sarabasa though. Right. Sarabasa was already fine.
All right. I love Sarabasa to the point that it is kind of notorious on my stream that I accidentally call other Flashpoint maps Sarabasa. All Flashpoints are just Sarabasa now. All right. I digress though. So there was a time of Sarabasa when we were casting. And when it was in a traditional kind of casting 2-caster setup. And we were early in on the Flashpoint days, relatively new into Overwatch 2 and casting Flashpoint. And I had my co-caster, who will remain nameless, shushed me in the middle of a point so that they could hear the name of the Flashpoint that was about to get called out by Athena. It was still to this day probably the biggest irk I've ever had in 16.5 years of doing this. In the middle, I was in the middle of talking about something, and there was we gotta hear the next Flashpoint. I was like, did you just shush me in the middle of a caster point? Like, I didn't say that, but that was so that happened once. It did. It irked me.
I think one time per year you should be able to absolutely crash out on your co-caster. Just one time a year.
Just once a year we get a what's the movie? A purge. We get like an internal purge. You just get to crash out on your co-caster for one time a year.
You get to pause the game. You get them to pause it, and then you can just lay into them. It's up to the producer of the stream to figure out if they have to throw it to a break or if they play it on stream.
You've heard of the technical pause. You've heard of the tactical pause. Here is the crash out pause.
Hey, you want to grow the esport? That will get clicks.
That would definitely get some views.
That would do it.
That would do it. All right, so that really grind my gears. There, did I do it right?
Yeah, you did it right. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Not to go back and talk about sports, but again, Mega sent me this, and it's something that we talked about. Mega sent me something during the podcast. It's something we talked about earlier on in this podcast, not this episode. Maybe about 3 months ago in the middle of the season. I don't remember who it was. We talked about the fact that the Dodgers held a fucking VTuber night or vocal. Who was it? It was Hololive.
Yeah, they did.
Night.
Yeah, that's
They've
right.
now
For the second year in a row.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
They did it.
They now won the World Series those years.
What was it? Didn't Gura sing it last year?
Yeah, Gura said it was. Well, it was Gura, Marine, and I don't remember the Pecco. Because it was two JPs. But this year it was. I think it was all EN because it was. Regardless, the people it was aside, there is a boomer somewhere in the world that is an LA Dodgers fan that now is superstitiously believing in VTubers bringing the Dodgers power, and I enjoy and revel in that fact.
No, I was going to say, I mean, if you're the Dodgers, you got to do it again. If you better not, quit that streak now.
No, I'm that boomer. I'm the one I fucking said if they win the fucking World Series again, I'm attributing it only to fucking VTubers. That's it.
I was just happy my Dallas boy got a ring as he retired.
Kershaw?
Yeah.
He's
born and raised in Dallas. He went to high school here.
I remember that. He was such an insignificant player the entire postseason, or hell, the entire season.
Sure, it's just his final retirement year, and for him to end his career on a World Series win, I thought was cool. That was as much stakes as I had in that entire series. Otherwise, I just enjoyed the games.
They were some good games, I will say that. But like
Yeah.
this is the only time I watch baseball. Unless I'm like going to a minor league game, I only watch
Yeah.
the World Series because
Yeah, literally
Yeah,
only.
I'm not a big baseball fan.
I have too many baseball hats to say that. But
Now, hockey, on the other hand, I'm telling you, hockey's amazing. Best sport.
Hockey might be one of the best sports to watch in person.
In person
compared
for
to on TV.
sure.
it's
In
For
person,
sure.
my
it's so
God.
good to watch on TV.
Oh, great.
It is, but like my grandpa taking me back to I really, you said earlier in the episode, I live in Toledo. We used to have the Toledo Storm, and they were incredibly entertaining. They weren't a great team by any means, but they were super entertaining. Even like the Wall that we have now,
Yeah, I
they're
was gonna
constantly playing in the Kelly Cup. They're constantly getting to like the semis, to the finals. So like playoff time is always really exciting here.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's awesome.
you have a minor league team, like, and you're not
Yeah,
that
we
far
do.
away
A
from
great one.
You're not that far away from Cleveland, who also has one.
Yeah, we have great minor league teams here.
But hockey is so fun. Like, people who never watch hockey need to watch hockey. It's such a fun sport.
Hmm
Not quite Overwatch, but it's close. It's close.
Close enough. Close enough.
Hey,
I mean, all I'm saying is I haven't seen two Overwatch players have a fist fight. That's all I'm saying.
you haven't seen a Ryan v Ryan?
No, I'm talking like full on hands. Like, listen, hockey players are a different breed. The
That
amount
is
of
kind
people.
That is kind of the equivalent of like throwing the keyboard and mouse down on the ground and just going at it. You know what I mean? Like instead of throwing the
Exactly.
gloves down, I throw my mouse and keyboard on the ground and we just.
Okay, wait. Hypothetically, who would be the best? What two OWCS players or OWL players would give us the best fight?
See,
There's
I don't
some
know
big
about.
motherfuckers.
I would say there's some
Collusion
big-
Reiner.
Now, give me
Yeah.
Collusion Reiner.
Mhm.
give me season 1 Fraggy and last year's Hottie.
Last year's Hottie is
Oh,
not
last year's Hottie
wrong,
is-
dude. He's huge.
Dude.
No, but Collusion Reiner had the whole nose to nose moment because they
Mhm.
always played together on American
Yeah.
Tornado, and then they ended up face to face when it was Glads versus Shock. That moment was very reminiscent of an old fight card moment. That's why I was just like the Collusion Reiner fight would go hard, and they were both gym nuts. Like
Yeah.
they were both pretty big guys. They were both gym nuts.
What's his name? What is his name? He was the first year of the Florida Mayhem. What was his name? The big guy.
Fraggy, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that Fraggy?
Oh, no,
the other big guy.
No. Oh
Wasn't-
my god. Not to
No, Fraggy
Vic.
was-
Was it
Fraggy's
Manatee?
Shock.
Yeah, Fraggy. Well, I
It
thought
might have
Fraggy
been.
was
It might have.
Fusion,
It might have been. It might have been
Or
Manatee.
Fusion, that's what it was.
because
If
like
I'm
Manatee-
pulling up the player page.
I
No,
almost
not
remember
that.
buying a Fraggy Fusion jersey just because I thought that was a cool
No,
name.
Logix was no. I know who you're thinking of. It's the. I know I could see it.
Oh, it's a swoosh. Is what I'm thinking. Of.
Swoosh.
Swoosh.
Yes.
What a,
Yeah,
can
he came
see
out
it.
doing the arm swing.
what a
exactly.
Oh
fucking
my
name.
god.
Yes.
What a fucking name. Some of the names that players have.
God, that's so wonderful.
Get some creativity going.
Reinforce is a big dude. I don't think Reinforce would be very much good in a fight. I've talked to Reinforce. Just Reinforce's personality. He just does not seem like a guy that would be very violent or very good at violence at all. You know what I mean?
Okay, Reinforce versus Jake.
Versus Jake.
I mean,
I feel
like
like Jake could
wait,
fight.
Jake could fight, but
Jake is pretty
Jake's
strong.
gonna have to take down a mountain there, like in terms of height difference.
It is true. It is true. I mean, and he is legit. Like it's one of those things where Reinforce can put his arm out and Jake wouldn't be able to get close. Like one of those kind of things, hold the forehead kind of thing. You know.
Jake has the dragon tattoo buff.
Oh,
I feel like
true,
Jake could
true.
fight. Something like Jake took martial arts as a kid or something. Like that dude just took everything. Like that guy played 4 different sports as a little, in little league. He was one of those kids. I have zero doubts. I have zero doubts.
Honestly, like I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it more. Like I don't know. There are too many interesting fist fights that could go on.
Yeah.
Bilo notoriously, I mean, is gym rat and is trained.
True.
He's not a player, but he's a coach.
Yeah. I mean, it's closest thing. I mean,
Well, hypotheticals aside, I think that is a good point here to stop this episode. We're about
fist fighting. Let's go.
We
off
start
the rails
with sports, we'll end with sports. Welcome to the sports podcast, y'all. We're ditching esports. We're in the dust. We're gonna talk about the fucking Dodgers now. Woo.
For the love of sports, appreciate you watching.
Hey, yo. when we get in that podcast, we'll bring on. No, actually, we won't bring on that person. Never mind.
You were gonna
Actually,
say
we might, I don't
Joker,
know.
weren't you?
I was definitely gonna say Joker.
We'll bring on Joker. We'll bring back Fletch. He knows something about sports.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to bring up Joker, wasn't I? There we go. We brought up Joker. There
Yep,
we go.
there you
Hey,
go.
hey,
Very end. He's
Joker.
gonna have to.
There
We're,
it is.
we're gonna get Joker here throughout the entire episode now. All right, but that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for everyone who came out to watch. Make sure you follow, subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. Bullskunk, again, thank you so much for being our guest this week. Finally got you on after so long. And as always, Hunter, Mega, thank you guys. Make sure you guys tune in for another great episode next week of For the Love of Prod, where, as always, I don't know who the hell it's going to be. So until then, have a good week, y'all. See ya.